Stefano, how's it going?
Hi, hello. All good, thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. I know you're an Azalea aficionado, and I know you've got a few decent results with our favourite character as well. Tell us a little bit about your journey into Flesh and Blood and where you're from first, before we get into like Azalea and how you picked up that hero.
Yeah, so I am Stefano from Italy, and I have joined Azalea recently from outsider, more or less. Just because my first hero was Holdim. Totally random thing. I just opened 2 booster boxes and I have opened Final Spring Tunic and Crown of Seeds. So
Oh, there we are then.
I have just played the I have just played the hero that play both of them, but I didn't like Holdim so much in his hand, and Outsider provided the new toys to Azalea that forced me to play her.
Yeah.
Because I love the game style of Azalea.
Nice. Yeah, so Outsiders was obviously the big set for, a lot of the Azalea cards, all the lace with cards. And we'll get into a lot of your favourite cards and why later on. But yeah, that set was just absolutely pivotal to where she is now. All the ponders, all the new on-hits that are attached to arrows and all this. So yeah, we'll get into all the favourite cards and stuff that you like from that set later on. But it's interesting that you got into the game with Holdim, like one of our worst enemies, Guardian, the absolute brick wall. But
yeah, and the fun thing that the Italian guy that teach me the game played Azalea.
Oh,
so
really?
I started to play Holdim against Azalea.
Oh,
yeah, it's
wow.
a true story.
Yeah, well, when I think it was Pro Tour Baltimore, Jake Warburton, who's also been on the Azalea Cult because he top 8'd Pro Tour Baltimore with Azalea, was playing against Michael Feng in the quarterfinal, I believe. And that's when they were using things like Boulder Trap to make sure you get the -1 counter on the shield,
Yeah.
But that matchup seemed, for me as like a casual just sort of enjoyer, I was like, how do you do this? How do you get past the absolute mountain that is Holdim? Did you struggle with that as well? Did you struggle with Holdim?
Yeah, I mean, when I started to play Azalea, the first event was calling Antwerp, and I tested a lot the matchup with my team. And probably the worst matchup on that metagame was Dromai instead of Holdim, in my opinion. Because with Dreadbore and Widowmaker Raise Attention, I found the way to win. I had a good win rate against Holdim, but at the end it required a lot of testing and a lot of deep. It's a difficult matchup, so you don't have to spend all your energy too fast, because if you do that with no value of damage, Holdim just fatigue you, right? So.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny that you say Dreadbore as well, because that was for the longest time. Dreadbore was my favourite bow because of the fact that it had you can't play D-reacts from hand. I just absolutely love that. I love that clause on a bow. So it's funny that you brung that up, because I haven't seen that being played too much. Apart from I think the New Horizon Sandscammer Great Bow list had it in its sideboard because it can work with that deck a little bit more, I think. But yeah, I absolutely love Dreadbore. It's a great card. But yeah, so you're from Italy. Whereabouts in Italy?
I come from Florence, near Florence. It's Tuscany.
Nice. Okay, cool. Because when we were chatting off camera, you said you support Juventus. Is that right? Juve.
Yeah, exactly.
Sadly.
Yeah, it is.
Brilliant. Because when we were speaking the other day, you was like, because I support Newcastle, so it's like black and white, both black and white strips, right? They still have black and white strips, Juventus.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, now from marketing stuff, sometimes pink shirt or
I remember the pink shirt.
But
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah. So how's the local scene in like Italy then?
Okay, so this is a good question because first of all, I have to be happy to the fact that in my city is the biggest community of Flesh and Blood. I started to play Flesh and Blood more or less 1 year ago, and I grabbed all my ex-teammates from other game, other TCZ, and I made a very big group, and it's a perfect mix for casual players or competitive players, and
Nice.
yeah, in Italy in general, like you said, most of them as your main hero.
Yeah.
But in my team, that we play more competitive and travel around the world to make tournaments, something like that, we test a lot every hero. So we don't have I have Azalea like a main hero because I never stopped to play Azalea since May. So
Nice.
but no, my teammates, I play other hero in testing, so yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be like as like a casual just enjoyer of the character and the way she looks and the fact she likes to dominate people and you know, she's brunette and all this. As a casual player, I don't really know like how the teams operate, so it's nice to know that in testing teams everybody plays a bit of everything, but also that's good to know if you're facing down an Oldhim or whatever it is, you know how that other deck plays and how you want to sort of achieve the best out of your cards. I imagine that's all part of it.
Yeah. And the secret for my result is that I never stop to do that. So and the Flesh and Blood is I come from Magic the Gathering. I played from 20 years from competitive scene of Magic the Gathering, but Flesh and Blood with this living legend stuff, you can say the meta is changed a lot so fast, and you have to if you want to play competitive, you have to stay in time to test every matchup, and it's relevant, right? So you can't stop to that.
No. Yeah, exactly. Good stuff.
Battle Art Hanover is the proof of my totally change in 20 days from Worlds to Battle Art, right? Completely different game, we can say. So
yeah, and especially with the Living Legend point changes, I think everything's going to be sped up a lot more going forward. So that'll be interesting to see how it shakes things up on a regular basis. How do you feel about the updates on a weekly basis? Do you like that, or as a pro player, as a competitive player, do you like that? Or
yes,
you do. Okay.
Yes, I like from a competitive player, and because if you want to be pro, in my opinion, you have to be prepared to change your playing fast and learn everything fast, because you are pro, right? So you have to prove that.
Yeah.
Of course, I have some friends that only play casual and only play their main hero, and it happened. And if it's worth for them, but for me, it's correct.
Yeah, exactly. That's been my points on other stuff that I've been speaking about this system on, like a podcast that I'm on and stuff. That's my stance as well, is that it keeps it fresh. And obviously, if you are in the pro scene, if you are playing these decks competitively, you have to adapt to these things as and when they come up. You're going to look at the best deck or the best thing to do, in that precise moment in time all the time, right? So you have to adapt to it, and the fact that you're sort of solidifying that is good. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you said you had a Magic the Gathering background. So what drew you to this game then? What drew you to Flesh and Blood? Was it the fact that Magic was sort of competitively dying out, or was it other factors?
Yeah, exactly. Is a mix of reason. The main reason was that the competitive scene of Magic the Gathering was dead, completely dead. No tournament, no nothing. And in the meantime, my best friends of the community stopped to play Magic the Gathering for different reasons. I don't know, family, work on their country, and something like that.
Yep.
So I just stopped to play Magic the Gathering. So COVID became, and I start to pass time to YouTube, and YouTube suggests me to watch some Flesh and Blood video, and I completely be grabbed from the art
Nice.
of the cards. I love the art of the Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
And when I say the first video of the gameplay, I say, okay, this is totally different from Magic the Gathering, because I am not a fan of the games that want a mule copy, something like that, part of the Magic the Gathering rules.
Yeah.
So I am not a fan. But Flesh and Blood is completely different. Probably this is the thing that grabbed me a lot, and I just buy booster boxes, open it, and
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Epic.
Start to play.
Good
You
stuff.
can imagine, no? My first booster box, I opened Feyenda Spring Tunic, so legendary, the best legendary
really?
of the game. So,
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah. That definitely helps you get into it.
Grab it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on to Azalea, and the Supreme Leader is what the Azalea Cult calls her. The Supreme Leader, praise be, and all that. Azalea, why did you... I know you said you started with Oldhim because of the cards that you pulled and stuff, but why did you choose Azalea, or why did you choose to sort of go down that route to start off with?
Azalea was my... I liked Azalea from the beginning, but simple for me is unplayable because just the buff cards or only red in the ledger was relevant in the old deck, right?
Yeah.
But from outsider, I completely love that Azalea is, in my opinion, today one of the deep hero of the game, probably the most deepest with Canon, and because you don't have only your cards in hand every turn, but you have the opt one from the Skullbone and the draw card from the dealer. And this opt one and draw card, I mean, you have a lot of choices every turn. You can play differently every turn, and you can play one turn before your next turn to planning the best pitch or cards for the end game. I mean, Azalea is, in my opinion, one of the most funny heroes to play. And outsider just say me, okay, Smells, now you can do that, and now you can play that. And I didn't join Lexi for this reason, because Azalea, in my opinion, was the best funny hero to play.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with the top deck manipulation. You can either turn the card in your arsenal into that top deck through Azalea's ability, or you can draw it from Death Dealer, depending on what your composition of your hand looks like. And the fact that we got Bullseye Bracers back now as well opens up a load of nice things that we didn't have for the longest time because of Lexi. Fuck off, Lexi! taking our bracers away, taking our bracers away from us.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely agree. The opting and seeing what you can do, and it opens up loads of different things. It's very deep, as you say. It's not just cowabunga. I can do this, output damage, and all that. But yeah, it's a lot more deeper than that, and I agree. I also like the tactile feel of a ranger, putting stuff into your arsenal and then firing it from there, and it feels like you're really sort of pulling a bow back and firing it.
Yeah.
That's why I got into it a long time ago. So yeah, Azalea, great hero, obviously. What's your favourite card in Azalea overall?
Okay, what was my favorite is too easy, say, red in the ledger, so I want to say Bolt Shot. Because Bolt Shot, of course, is the best value was the go again, but not also the go again, is that your opponent, when you shot Bolt Shot, he doesn't know, he can't know what happened later.
Yeah.
You have the possibility of reload, Bullseye Bracers, and Codex of Frailty. And these three variables, it's devastating for your opponent. And in my opinion, the good value of Bottle Shot when you play it is amazing. I love it. The blue one also.
Yeah.
Sometimes someone has stopped to play them, but in my opinion, is the one of... I play 9 Bottle Shot.
Nice.
Happy to do that. So.
I do as well. And it's like you say. It's like you say as well. We have more options now to also call the bluff or whatever, because if you shoot a bolt and shot, your opponent again doesn't know what's coming after it. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. If they block with cards, you're taking cards away. You don't even have to follow that up with what you want to do. You can Arsenal and pass, knowing you've taken away 2 cards. But now we can also Codex after that. We can Bullseye after that now. So if we really want to overextend, you can do that, which is just, the Bullseye is really, really, really useful now. But yeah, I agree. Bolt and Shot is the glue that holds it together for a lot of Azalea decks out there. So yeah, definitely. So would you feel that that's the most valuable card then, or is that something else? The most valuable card in a Azalea deck? What do you think that is? The MVP? What you're always happy to see, apart from Bolt and Shot?
Premeditate, in my opinion.
Yep.
Because sometimes you have to block, especially in this meta, and with the Tunic you can load the 1 mana arrow, and you can shot the 1 mana arrow with the card that you draw from the dealer. And the Premeditate is the card that lets you end the arsenal, and it's so much value in the mirror, in the aggro mirror, no mirror of Azalea, but in general, against aggro. So I probably say to Premeditate, especially Tune 0 when you open with knock, you can play knock, you can shot right in the ledger and pass with Arsenal. That is completely different with pass without Arsenal for the next round. Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, when Ponder, like as a mechanic, when Ponder wasn't around, one of my favourite cards, just because of the Arsenal replacement, was Endless Arrow. Because obviously if that hits, you can just put that back into your arsenal at the end of turn. But now the Ponder just opens up so much more with the fact that you can just staple that onto any arrow with the Premeditate. So that's definitely Premeditate was Outsiders as well. There was so much good stuff in that set. It was crazy. And the art of Premeditate is lovely. I love that one. So shout out to Izuadi Therianto, who does fantastic art. So what would you say the most underrated Azalea card is?
In my opinion, Release Attention. Oh, I have a cat.
Nice.
Release Attention. Release Attention probably is one of the most underrated cards in Azalea.
Okay, underrated.
Because not so many people play Release Attention, but a lot of matchup, probably the worst matchup, but not only worst matchup, against I side in probably against everyone. And it's so strong because when you are on the finish, the last part of the game, you lose only if your red in the ledger doesn't hit, and it doesn't hit only if your opponent has different selection access. And if you delete this possibility from the game, you win the game. And it's so important, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Against Romai, against Ninja, against everyone, this type of deck.
Yeah, it's a good shout. I like Release Attention as well, definitely, because if they're saving like a crucial, block 4 D-React in their arsenal, you can just get around it with that. It's just like, they've wasted and clogged their arsenal, and you've got another buff. It's one that I like as well, definitely. It's a shame that Increased Attention, the one that doesn't allow D-Reacts from hand, costs 1. That's a shame, because that would have been great, having like a dread.
If 0, I have tried it. I have tried it in the Holding meta.
Oh really? Yeah.
I have tried it, but the cost 1 was
too much.
Unplayable.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah. I mean, there's comparisons to the cost 1 buff with Deadeye, but Deadeye obviously is a yellow pitch block 3, isn't it? So it's obviously a lot better.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So, what would you say? What would you feel then is the most overrated cards? This is what I was saying. Is what do you think? A lot of Azalea decks run that you in your opinion, you don't need to have it. What do you think is overrated in an Azalea deck that you might see elsewhere?
It's not an arrow card, but probably a Latin Strike.
Yep. Yeah, makes sense.
Because in Antwerp, for example, I made to pay without a Latin Strike in the deck, and I was totally happy to don't play it. I just play it now because Warmonger exists, just for this reason.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't like the -1 in the end. I don't want to destroy Snapdragon on Latin Strike. I want to destroy Snapdragon when I want. And this is the thing, right? And probably is most overrated card. because Azalea, as you know, sometimes need pitch to do some stuff and need cards. So, for example, if your Snapdragon is gone and you just want to play a Lightning Strike for 5 go again, and the only arrow that you will hit is 8, the 8 power, the European just take 5 from Lightning Strike and block efficiently the arrow, right? And they make his turn completely boosted, and we are under his pressure. So Lightning Strike probably.
Yeah, I think I also agree with that as well. Justin Su, who was on Azalea Cult, is the guy who won the calling with in Taipei with Azalea. So I spoke to him recently as well, last episode, and he said exactly the same thing. And he was speaking to Brody about it, and they were saying that it's always good, but it's never great. You know, it's just free damage. It's not much else. It's
exactly.
just so exactly what you said. It's not an arrow, it doesn't synergize, it's just a bit of glue that holds it together. So yeah, definitely I agree with that also. So this could be a bit of a deep one. What has been some of your favorite gameplay moments when piloting Azalea? So what's maybe your favorite lines to do, or what do you remember being amazing? So, or it could be from the recent event.
The most good play is the recently one is at the Worlds against one Bravo, the first round of the tournament. It was a race game. We was like 20 HP me and 28 him, but we are in the. It's a close game. It was a close game, and I pitch stacked because at the moment he chose to try to fatigue me, so he changed the plane, and I pitch stacked very well. 2 Bolt Shot, Rare Razor, and Codex. So when his equipment was gone, I present 27 turn damage, and I won the game.
Wow.
So yeah, probably Bolt Shot Red, Rare Razor, Reload, Bolt Shot, Reload, Codex, Endless Arrows, Snapdragon, both sides, and the Star again. So it was cross.
Nice.
So it happened that Bravo doesn't present you so damage when they play defensively, because you call his hand every turn.
Yeah.
So you can just pitch Rare Razor, and you know that Button Shot is on your arsenal from last turn, so you can play Azalea. It doesn't relevant if you flip an arrow or a buff, it's fine anyway. So you just play Azalea, pitch Rare Razor, and you know you have Button Shot and Razor again. And you have to pay attention on the other pitch. So if you draw Button Shot in the 4 cards or from the top, just pitch and try to do this type of thing. It's not important if one card is not one of part of the combo, because it will be just the pitch of the turn, right?
Yeah.
So of course you in the early game you only have to doesn't shot your best cards and keep them for the late game. And when your deck is so few, so like 12 or 14 cards, you can try to do that.
Okay, yeah. So you're just playing the general game plan, but then just you're not trying to go wide in the first half of the game. You're just playing the big tool stuff until you get to that moment. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. If you shot 3 Rare Razor in early game and the Bravo player know that, you are fucked.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. All right. I will try that next time. Cool. All right, nice. Bolt and Shot, Codex, Pitch Stack, all that good stuff. Combo off, lovely. What are your? We can get into this a little bit later, because obviously you went to the Battle Hard in Hanover recently. But what are your other sort of results and finishes with Azalea over the last year or so? What else have you done with Azalea as a hero? For people that don't know.
Very good. I I lost the last round to make top 8. So I was 6-1 and I lost against Fai that won the battle alternate that day. Very good game. He played so well. And I made a mistake turn 0 that I shot him. He won the dice and he chose to me go first. I shot button shot from 7 with Seek and Destroy. And I have in hand 2 Remorseless. He blocked with 3 cards, and so he has just 1 card left. And I try to destroy both side bracers for shot Remorseless for 6 on turn 0.
Yeah.
And but he blocked with Warmonger. And the fun part is that the next round, his turn 1, he presents Whispering Flames like 12 damage more or less. But I draw 3 buff and Ravenous Trouble.
Oh,
so if I instead put Remorseless in the arsenal, it was a completely different game, and probably I mean it's more playable, and this fight play against us very well with Emberblade and the Lynx and the Mask of Lynx. So if he has 1 turn gained from your brick, it's so hard that you will come back, because he has the equip also to block Red in the Ledger, right?
Yep.
And the first Red in the Ledger, it's not completely sure that he will hit. So yeah. And I have lost round 2 against Kano. Yeah, he just rolled me. I probably can't do something different this game. He started and shot me 12 damage with 2 Tom and 2 red bolt from the top. So it's difficult game from the beginning.
He just did the Kano thing. Just did the Kano thing that time.
Yeah, Kano thing, exactly. Kano thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't kill him in time. Yeah. And I won against 2 Rhinar, another fight, Dash, Azalea Mirror, but the Azalea was with Sunscour and New Horizon. And the first round I won because my opponent doesn't show the tournament, so easy start for me.
Yeah, nice. You'll take those. Take those when you can, I guess. That's cool. Yeah, nice. So that was a recent tournament that you played at, which was the Hanover one, and you came 12th overall. You said.
Yeah, exactly. At the end, yeah, sure.
Awesome. So what other results have you had on Azalea in other tournaments for people that might not know? I know you went to the Calling in Birmingham, and you were 5th there. Was that right? Last year? Was it the year before?
Yeah. Exactly. So I made I made top 8 on May on Calling Antwerp, on July on Calling Birmingham top 8.
Yeah.
And top 8 on Battle Alternate Warsaw on October, and top 32 at Worlds.
Yeah, nice. How did you like? Did you enjoy Barcelona? Did you have a good time?
Yes, a lot. Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. It was of course not my first time in Barcelona, but it was first time for Flesh and Blood, and it's amazing event.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's a shame I didn't really know you then at that point. I was just at the event having fun, getting very drunk over that weekend, just there for the fun times really. It's a shame I didn't obviously know you then, but hopefully catch you at an event at some point going forward. I'm going to where am I going? I'm going to America in a few months. Going to Hartford. Have you got any other events planned going forward, like this side of the world?
Yeah, I already booked for Calling Liverpool, Calling Warsaw, and probably I'll go on Pro Tour Amsterdam. Yeah. I'm pretty sure to do that, and I'll wait to see more Battle Alternate in Europe probably.
Yeah, nice. Good stuff.
The schedule is not so clear at the moment, so
yeah, good stuff. So just going back to...
So I'll meet you at Liverpool, I suppose.
I don't know whether I'm going yet, because it's... I think it's a week. It's the week after I get back from the US, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to go to both. So we'll have to see. Because I go to the US and then come back and just say to my girlfriend, right, yeah, I'm off to Liverpool now. She'll be like, what are you doing? Don't leave me again. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. See ya. I'm off to play Flesh and Blood again. Oh no, not Flesh and Blood again.
Makes sense.
Fuck, you know. Yeah. So just going back to yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. Have to do what we have to do. Travel the world, play the game, and all this. But yeah, going back to a little bit of light-hearted Azalea stuff then. What is your favourite Azalea card art with Azalea on it?
I can say the new one.
The new one?
The EV's legendary specialization, probably.
Oh yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I completely fall in love in that art.
Yeah,
I love that art, and I want the playmat with that art because it's amazing in my opinion. I love it.
Oh god, yeah. So for the people at home, a little bit of behind the scenes, we just dropped out connection there, so you might see a bit of editing to try and fix that, but hopefully it should be fine. But we've had a great discussion so far about obviously our supreme leader Azalea and everything that she's about. Can you still hear me? Is everything good?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, cool, nice, excellent. So yeah, Azalea's future. So this is the last part of the conversation. How well do you think she is positioned at the moment? Living Legend stuff that we've had and the stuff going forward, we might see a lot more Brute, Guardian, and Warrior. So how do you think she sits right now? I know it's hard to say without seeing the new stuff. But what do you feel about that at the moment?
Okay, so in the current meta, probably is one of the best heroes of the meta, in my opinion. It's and for the same reason that now is one of the best hero, it will be, in my opinion, very good in the next meta also, because Azalea is one of the few hero of Flesh and Blood, in my opinion, that has toys, instruments, cards to fight every meta, and this is so important for a hero because she has a lot of arrows with different on-hit effects that can hit and destroy the gameplay of a lot of heroes. If, for example, just to be quick, if Guardian play aggressive mode, I run like Nikarot made top 8 of Battle at Hanover, 3 fatigue shot, and he won against 3 Bravo in a row at the Battle Artnet. So I won against Reinhardt. Warrior can be fatigue, can be race, but again, Azalea has the instrument to fight both of them. So you are Azalea just to be built the deck around the meta game. It's so important. Probably it's one of the year that the deck building is one of the best, most important part of the hero. Because the side package hero, it's so important to win against the matchup. Like Warrior, Reinhardt, Brute, Guardian, etc. So, but I am confident that it will be good. Yeah,
and it's like you say though, it's like there's so many cards out there that she has access to that can affect so many different heroes. Like Sleep Dart just turns off a hero ability. You know, that's like a red in the ledger for Dromai, Sleep Dart. You know, you got Fatigue Shot, as you say, that makes these big, massive attack actions half value for their power. She can drill through people's equipment by putting stuff -1 counters on them. You know, there's a lot of things out there that Ranger has access to, and I think that's a good design space for LSS to have a hero that can combat any meta at any time. So you know, it's a good thing to have, especially aggro. We absolutely love aggro, don't we? Because of Red in the Ledger. We used to love Red in the Ledger before Outsiders existed, as you say. We used to try and put the memorial ground, get the red in the ledger back on top, dominate it constantly, and just jam that red in the ledger constantly, and really piss off some people.
Yeah, I see.
But,
yeah.
But yeah, no, that's good. It's good to know. So it's going to be interesting to see where she ends up. Now, also with Azalea's future, we had the new spoiler card, which I had the honour of spoiling, which is the Judge, Jury, and Executioner card. What's your sort of take on that card in your deck specifically, Death Dealer decks, and Azalea decks in general? Do you think there's a space for it or not?
I think totally yes.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, if it is just one, and it is perfect for the dealer Azalea, because if you, for example, you can play 3 cards and in hand is just 5 without effect, right? So it's not so relevant. It's very important to have it in the deck, and it's the perfect target for knock against every hero that is not draw my is better than red in the ledger with an encounter, because when you shot red in the ledger and they can block with only 1 card because he has nominated, your opponent can make CNC, Lightning Strike, and play Arsenal. With that card, he can't. So it's so gross. It's so important. And I mean, in a long tournament, it will be happen 100% that almost one time you opt with Skullbone or just Blind Azalea. And if you just draw it, because it could be happen, why not? It's 3 block that go into the graveyard, and probably if you run Memorial Ground, we don't know. It's so versatile. It's you have a lot of play with that card, so I will be happy to play one of it of 100%. I don't know if I want to change my deck building, because in every TCC, what I have learned that is when one deck is good and is functional, you don't have to change it a lot to just run 1 or 2 cards because it's strong. It's the solid part of the deck is more important. So I will play one of it, the new legendary specialization, of course, and probably stop the deck building we just had it. I don't know if probably 1 Memorial Ground can take the place of 1 Rare Razor. I don't know. Depends if Rare Razor will be strong or not in the new meta. We'll see.
Yeah, because I do like Memorial Ground. It's just a balance. It's like trying to get the space for everything in the deck. That's the hard part. But I do like Memorial Ground because, as you say, if you block with something early, if you find the Memorial, you've still got a copy of it basically, because you can get it back on top. It's a good one. But the thing with the new card is obviously you have to pay to get the aim counter on it. So you just have to have the extra resources when you get it with a knock. You have to remember that, I guess, don't you? Because whereas if you were to knock a red in the ledger, you don't have to pay to get the aim counter on it. Whereas with Death Dealer, you still have to use the Crow's Nest to get the thing on there. And as we said earlier, Azalea doesn't like to pay extra things for the thing.
Yeah,
so.
Sure.
That's what I'm worried about personally, but again, I haven't jammed it enough to the card isn't even released yet. We've still got a month or so before it's even available. But thanks LSS for letting me spoil it. If there's any more Ranger cards, you know where to come, obviously. But what do you think going forward, Azalea could use if you were to design a card to do something or combat some meta or something? What would you want to see Azalea be able to do going forward?
Can I go strong?
Yeah, go as strong as you like. Yeah.
Probably a new buff that block 3.
Yeah.
Cost 1. And plus 3 or it's okay. But when your arrow hits your opponent, it will be -1 intellect.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. That is nasty.
Yeah. This is probably one of. I mean, it's just +2. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it costs. but it costs 1. So
Cost 1, and
I mean,
then worst case scenario, you can block with it. For 3.
yeah, exactly. You see in that dealer the cost 1 pump it's so expensive. The die, for example, is so annoying when you have to have the blue cards in hand.
Yeah.
So probably I don't know. It is strong probably, but I it's funny if Azalea can touch the intellect of your opponent, because I have searched in the library all the ranger cards or the combination of cards, and probably this one of the probably unique, I don't know, all the effects that miss in a ranger.
Yeah.
It's missing probably because every hero can do everything on it. We have everything, so
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. I mean, it's very, very powerful, because obviously we know how Azalea can. Well, Justin, who I spoke to as well, made a good point that Azalea is basically an intellect 5 hero, because she can access the top card of a deck. So if you were taking an intellect away from somebody else, you basically got a 2-card advantage. Oh, that's vile. So yeah, there we go, LSS. If you're listening to this, give us a minus intellect arrow. But yeah, I mean, I personally, I hate heroes with fridges. Right? If I had a buff that said you buff your arrow and they cannot block with armor this turn, that would be nice. But I think that's probably too powerful as well. It'd probably have to cost quite a lot to be able to do that. But yeah, fridges, I absolutely hate fridges. That's the worst thing for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I had on the docket for today. So I appreciate you coming on. Did you want to shout out where people can go and follow you or find you if they wanted to?
I have Instagram that I report all my travels and stuff, and Twitter as well. So
nice.
You can join me on that.
Cool, and that's just the same Discord tag that you have. Is it SMEOZ?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fantastic. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Azalea Cult episode 22. Thank you very much for Stefano for coming on. It's been a nice little chat about all things Azalea, and until we do it all over again next time on the Azalea Cult here on Go Again Gaming, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, folks.
Yeah. See you soon.
What would you say is the best piece of advice you would give to someone new that's looking to pick up Azalea? What would be the best thing to tell them if they were to get into the hero?
The most fast thing to learn playing Azalea is just try to hand your turn with Arsenal. So important to start with Schoolborn to Opt 1, because you will play more safe your turn with avoid mistakes or easier mistakes. And probably don't force the dominated attack in the early game. It's not so important. Just face your opponent with a lot of damage and with more attack if possible, and try to dominate the attack at the end of the game to end the game. Probably is the most fast thing to learn.